This is the most aesthetic open plan blacksmith area that I've seen on Valheim, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build it, but before I do, let me give you a quick tour so you know what to expect. From the front of the structure you can see we have 2 kilns, one on either side, and then going clockwise around the structure we have 2 smelters in this sheltered area, we have 2 stone ovens in the back, and opposite the smelters we have a blast furnace also inside a sheltered area. Of course we have this courtyard area with the birch tree in the middle, and this is what it looks like as a whole. It's worth noting that this build can be combined with my maximum comfort room and my ultimate storage room in order to create this back garden courtyard with all your requirements for blacksmithing and smelting. So now that you know what to expect, let's jump into the build part of the video. The first thing you're going to need for this build is a relatively flat area, roughly 9 by 9 in size. Now normally I show you the whole foundation as a starting point, but this foundation is a little bit more complicated, so just decide where you want your entrance to be and create a 3 by 2 rectangle like this. Now I always like my entrances to be facing the sun, so I've decided to build it on this side. Now I'm using black marble as the foundation for this structure, but you can just use stone floors throughout. It doesn't make that much difference, I just think the black marble looks slightly better, so I've decided to go for that. So in the bottom right hand corner of this rectangle we're going to place another black marble piece, do 2 rotations and place another one, 2 rotations, place, 2 rotations, place, and do this all the way around. So you have this octagon, and then grab a black marble 2x1 and place it in the centre. We'll do the exact same on the other side. Once you have this, we're going to need to create the area where we're going to place in our stairs for the entrance. So on your original rectangle, come to the bottom left piece, and we're going to have 2 rotations. Slot the black marble floor into position here so that the corner here meets the corner of the middle piece of the rectangle. We're then going to fill in this triangular space here, and then the same on the other side should leave you with this. Now this space in the middle is going to be where we're going to have the entrance stairs, so we can go ahead, grab our black marble stairs and fill these pieces in. Now make sure that you're going flush with the stairs in the middle and not slightly back like so. You're going to want to make sure that you're snapping on these middle stairs. Next we need to build the shelters for our smelters and blast furnace. We'll grab the wood beam 1 meter and we're going to come off diagonally in the corner of our back left rectangular piece. So once you've built this, the whole purpose of this is just to create a lock point for our black marble floor. So we'll go ahead, place that in and place another one just behind that. Similar to what we've done before, we'll do 2 rotations and build 2 along, 2 rotations, build 2 along, 2 rotations, 2 along, and then opposite from the starting position, we'll just place the 1 and keep this pattern going until you get back where you started. Now to fill in this middle section, I'm going to lock off the edge pieces here. So we're going to lock off on the opposite side, move over and lock it into position on this side. We can then use our black marble 2x1s to fill in the rest of this space here. Back at the start we're going to delete our wood beams now, and then we can lock in a black marble 1x1 at either side in order to complete the path. Now this build is going to be symmetrical, so I've done the exact same on the opposite side, and then with the black marble floor we need to create the back section where we'll have either the stone ovens or the storage compartment. So from the front, if you follow this area around, you're going to come to this block here, and that's where we're going to place off the floor piece for this back area. So we'll place 1 off and then we'll grab the wood beam 1 meters. Similarly to what we've done at the front of the structure, we're just doing it in the opposite direction now. So we'll use this wood beam 1 meter as a lock point in order to create somewhere for the corner of this floor piece to connect to. Then we're going to build a 3 by 3 square here and use the black marble 1x1 to complete the path into this area. We can then connect the path all the way around to the other side. And if you've done it correctly, the foundation to the structure should look exactly like this. So now with the foundation we can start to build upwards. I'm going to start at the very back where we're going to place these stone ovens, and I'm going to create this little pocket using the black marble 2x1s and the 1x1s. I'm going to build this 2 high initially. Then for the third layer I'm going to grab the black marble floor, and at the front of this little cabin we're going to just build black marble floor all the way across, and at the back we're going to use the black marble 2x1s and the black marble 1x1s and just create a little chimney that any smoke from the stone ovens can leave from. So I only like to do it 1 tall. You could do it taller than this if you like, but you can see that once we build in our stone ovens, they fit in perfectly flush with the structure, and any smoke from those stone ovens can simply vent out the back here. So now with that section done, we can focus on the shelters for the smelters and blast furnace. We're going to grab our wood wall half and build around the outside of these little islands that we put on either side of the foundation. Now we're only going to put it on the outer edge because on the inner edge we want this to be quite open, so we're just going to place cage walls here, and we can build our cage walls all the way around like this. We're then going to build cage walls on top of this wood half wall, and we can also place it just at the front here to create this little path. The same at the back of the structure, and we can just take the cage wall all the way back until it connects with this black marble structure at the back. Now at this stage we can grab our darkwood pole 4 meters and place them in at every corner of this little island section here. And we want the top of this darkwood pole to be in line with the top of this section of the black marble stone at the end. Once you're done, it should look like this, and then at this stage we can grab our darkwood beams and just fill in all the space between these darkwood poles. Of course, some of these sections are going to be too small for the darkwood beam 4 meters, so just use the 2 meters for those sections. And also we want to trim the top of the half wood walls and the bottom of the half wood walls. So go ahead and do that, and also underneath the cage wall at the courtyard side. We'll also place darkwood beam underneath the cage wall at the entrance, and there is going to be a slight overlap with these just because we don't have the 1 meter darkwood beams. On this back one we're going to use a 4 meter, and we're just going to place it along the bottom, and it should go all the way into this black marble. So now with the main wall structure complete, we can start to focus on the structure for the roof, and we want the roof to have a slight overhang, so we're going to use the wood floor 1 by 1 and attach them all the way along the upper darkwood beams. Now when you're doing this, you don't need to worry about these little gaps in between, because by the time the roofs go on they won't be noticeable at all. But continue with your wood floor 1 by 1, just go all the way around the structure, and once you're done, jump on top, grab your 26-degree shingle roof, and make sure you're locking on the outer side of these wood floors, and just go around the perimeter of the shelter, filling in shingle roof 26 degrees at each of these lock points. Once you've done that, use the darkwood beams to trim off the top of these roof components until you're left with this shape here. Now at this stage I think it's time to add in some lights, so at first I'm going to grab these standing iron torches, and at the front of these cage walls I'm just going to place it right on the edge here on either side, and then cover up the main body of the torch with these darkwood pole 2 meters. I'll do the same at the oven side and hide most of it with the darkwood pole 2 meters. Now I'm also going to add in a darkwood pole 2 meters here, but I'm not going to bother adding in one of the torches because I think we have enough light as it is. Next up we'll grab the Dvergr wall lanterns and place them on each of these 4 meter poles around the outside of the shelter. When you're done it should look like this, and it's at this stage we can grab our smelters. And using the lines created by the floor, we can just place this right in the middle of the structure and make sure to have even spaces on the left and right hand side. And then we can just place it in, rotate it 180 degrees and place in the other one as close to the initial smelter as we can. Once we're done, it's going to look like this, and that's this section of the build complete. Now you'll need to repeat these steps on the opposite side of the structure, so once you've done that and you've got to this stage, go ahead and grab your blast furnace. Now I like the black metal bars to come out facing towards the front of the structure, so I'm going to have this exit point facing this way, and all I'm going to do to place this into the right position is have this line of the blast furnace link up with this line of the floor, and then just try and keep the middle of this section of the blast furnace in line with this line here. So in practice this looks something like this, and as you can see from the front, that is more or less in the front of that shelter, with plenty of space to enter in your coal and black metal scraps and get out your black metal bars. So now I think we're at a good stage where we can plant the tree in the middle. So I'm going to find the midpoint of this back foundation piece here using the wood beam 1 meter, and then grab the wood beam 2 meters and build 2 out. We can then grab our cultivator, and all you want to do is place this tree so it's just protruding that wood beam, something like this. We can then take away our wood beam and we will leave that to plant. So right now we're about 75% through the build, so if you're still here and enjoying the video, please do leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. At the front of the structure I'm actually going to place in the charcoal kilns first, and what I'm going to do is have the front of the structure in line with the line of this beam here, and the same again on the other side. And the reason we do this first before adding in detail around the side is because sometimes the charcoal kiln will clash with the area of the beams, and it's sometimes difficult to place it within this area. So go ahead, grab your darkwood pole 2 meters, and we're going to place one at the bottom of the stairs here, and every time we hit a corner in this little foundation bit we'll place one in. Once you're at the back of the structure it does become quite difficult, but you can just zoom in and place it in. Put a darkwood beam trim around the sides like this, and then grab a cage wall 1 by 1 and place it on top of the darkwood beam. Now I don't actually take the darkwood beam all the way around, I just stop it at this point here, but there is actually an inner corner just here that you could also place one, but I think with the darkwood beam here it's just too much, so I just stop it at this one here. We'll do the exact same on the other side, and once you've done that it should look like this. Once you've given enough time for your birch tree to grow, you can move into this courtyard area and finish off the build. So we'll grab your black marble stairs, we'll place one set of stairs at the back and then one on either side. And then the same again at the front. Grab your cultivator, fill this area in with grass, and there you have it. If you made it this far, you now know how to make an aesthetic open plan blacksmith area, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.